Military dictatorship. This dictatorship is a stratocratic form of hierarchy, with the head of the military serving as the undisputed and all-powerful ruler of the state. Private militaries. When at war, this society has traditionally relied on mercenaries and private military corporations to supply armed forces for them. Respect Titles Act. Those who hold any honorific or title shall be accorded the honorific as appropriate. It is a felony to omit an honorific title or title of honor. Stratocracy. The rule of the army. The military has a special place above all in this society. Soldiers and commanders have a special status that grants them privileges and political rights. Relentless industrialist. To live is to exploit. This civilization is built around the principle of living life to its fullest, in the sense of squeezing the maximum profit from every last ounce of matter and membrane available for exploitation. War engineers. The focus of this society's scientific progress is traditionally shifted towards applied military developments. Well, nothing new there. Here we go. Chiefdom. A chiefdom, eh? So, yes, we have a chiefdom here. So this will be very interesting. Nothing new in the bum there. This dictatorship is a creatocratic form of hierarchy, where the warrior, who is considered the strongest among all, rules with absolute power over the warlords and chieftains. Communism. In this country, all property is shared, creating a society of equals. Human rights for sale. You are allowed to mortgage your own and your family's human rights to pay on your debts. You are allowed to mortgage your own and your family's human rights to pay your own debts. Critocracy. This society has developed into a hardy warrior culture. Martial prowess is valued above all else, and true glory can only be found on the field of battle. Scavengers. In this society, nothing goes to waste. Even the grimmest of times of war, no enemy technology will go undiscovered, as teams of scrappers accompanying the war fleet scrap the wreckage of anything and everything worth salvaging. Researching debris will grant both research and a portion of other resources of the destroyed fleet. Ships can be salvaged from some debris. Armed neutrality. True neutrality requires armed forces to accompany it. Another parliamentary republic. This republic is a democratic form of palearchy, where the legislative and executive powers are divided and elected representatives gather together in the parliament to discuss issues and approve laws. Political pluralism. In this society, lively public debate about any topic is encouraged through a very diverse parliamentary system. Currying favor with one of the dominant political factions can prove to be quite advantageous. Cosmic scale libertarian. Freedom is not something that can be achieved only in one's own country, but it should be achieved on a galactic scale. Mining League. Several large mining guilds have organized themselves into an economic union that reached a dominant position in this society. The League's contributions to the Empire's economy is strong, so the government relies heavily on its support. Free haven. This society has a well-earned reputation as a free haven. The tired, the poor, the huddled masses yearning to breathe tired masses yearning to breathe free. Learning to breathe. I think I'm gonna drink some water very, very, very soon, maybe. I might actually consider it. Yearning to breathe free. Yearning to breathe. God darn it. Yearning to breathe free. All are welcome here, regardless of their species or origin. Now where were we? So, I just finished having a drink of water. So, free haven, yet yearning to breathe free air. Learning to breathe free. Yearning to breathe free. Oh, good. This society is tolerant of the acceptance of others and accepts all immigrants as long as they have not committed serious crimes. Now, these guys have, it's got two different ones here. Fanatic libertarian. Radical libertarianism vows to uphold liberty as the core principle of society, based on autonomy and self-governance. And abhors any form of tyranny or oppression. Everyone is equal in dignity and rights. Political power resides in the individual first and foremost. Spiritualist. There are those who think it is behaves us to remember how tiny. There are those who think it behooves us to remember how tiny we are, how pointless our lives are in the vast, uncaring universe. What nonsense! The only truth we can ever know is that of our own existence. The universe in all its apparent glory is but a dream. We are all. The only truth we can ever know is that of our own existence. The universe, in all its apparent glory, is but a dream we all happen to share. Oh, don't worry, I'll have plenty of time to redeem myself for any failing in pronunciation. And yes, I'm very aware that I'm doing pretty bad overall. Technical Assembly. The Republic is a technocratic form of palearchy, where a grand conference of technical experts, unions, and guilds is held to decide all matters of governance regarding their respective areas of specialization. It's an indirect democracy. Real elections it's basically a democracy. Technocracy. To maximize efficiency, this society is governed according to the principles of science and rationality. The personal whims of an ignorant and dangerously unqualified political elite must not be allowed to interfere. masterful crafters. A penchant for meticulous crafting lies at the heart of this society. Deficit appendages and keen sensory organs aid them in creating truly wondrous treasures, even in the most basic of trades. This society is renowned for its simple yet functional architecture. There are those who would refer to this building style as boring or even depressing. But in most cases, neoconcrete does the job just as well as any other building material. Conveyor system. This society considers it the absolute right of the state to decide where its citizens live and work. Cutthroat politics. The political system in this society is renowned for its intrigue, power struggles, shady backroom deals, and cloak and dagger scheming. A par for the course. Those who survive long enough to learn the game, however, tend to learn it well. An ecclesiastical empire. This is the first one, by the way. This is the first ecclesiastical empire. And I'm gonna do this. Because, we're getting close to, well, here. We got quite a few to go, so... yes. Ecclesiastical empire. This empire is an ecclesiastical form of monarchy, where organized religion is widely employed in the state apparatus, and imperial legitimacy emanates from the church. Organized religion is widely employed in the state apparatus, and imperial legitimacy emanates from the church. Well, I think we all know I imagine we all know what a monarchy is. Theocracy. Religious leaders occupy all leading administrative positions in order to guard society against heresy. Crusader spirit. The lack of guidance creates weak minds which easily succumb to corruption and plunge into decadence. This society has assumed the self-imposed mantle of bringing enlightenment to the masses through aggressive proselytizing. So in other words, they spread their religion, this state basically spreads their religion and they spread it hard. Exalted state. This state enforces its spiritualist ideology with military power, maintaining harsh totalitarian control over every facet of its society. Imperialism. The state considers itself the most superior government and is doing all it can to demonstrate its national power and prestige and to secure its national interest. Functional architecture. This society is renowned for its simple yet functional architecture. There are those who would refer to this building style as boring or even depressing, but in most cases, neoconcrete does the job just as well as any other building material. Of every facet of its society, yeah. You can tell I've created these with a sense of realism for what I'm going for. Another parliamentary republic. Except this time they're slightly spiritualist. They're slightly spiritualist. They believe in... They're spiritualist in belief slightly. So, the parliamentary republic. This republic is a democratic form of palearchy, where the legislative and executive powers are divided and elected representatives gather together in the parliament to discuss issues and approve laws. Political pluralism. Political pluralism. In this society, lively public debate about any topic is encouraged. through a very diverse parliamentary system, currying favor with one of the dominant political factions can prove to be quite advantageous. Evangelicalism. The people of this civilization truly believe that all sentient life in the universe is bound together through some higher power. Now that they've reached interstellar space, they want to spread this belief across the galaxy. Covert service. This society considers it the absolute right of the state to decide where its citizens live and work. Common values. This society shares the common values that intelligent life in the galaxy has universal value in their existence. Memorialist. This empire pays tribute to memories and sapience of the past, deriving greater stability and insight from the continuous cycle of death, rebirth, and legacy. Ooh. Now they're aquatic. This species is perfectly adapted to living in the depths of the ocean. However, on dry land, it's like a fish out of water. On dry land, it's like a fish out of water. Yes. Political pluralism. And they are a parliamentary republic. And I think I've read this enough. Anglers. Adept at utilizing nature's bounty, this society provides for itself a stable influx of sustenance and economic value. Provides for itself a stable influx of sustenance and economic value. So yeah. Functional architecture, healthy habits, labor unions. This society's workers are traditionally involved in making decisions and share authority and responsibility in the workplace, which results in increased productivity and service delivery from a more fully engaged and happier workforce. Yes. As you can see, they're materialist, militarist, xenophile, fanatic libertarian. Now, clerical synod. This one should be fairly interesting, as you see there. This diocese is an ecclesiastical form of palearchy, where all the congregations may govern themselves and preach their own interpretations of the true faith. Maybe I should try slowing down a little bit. So this diocese is an ecclesiastical form of palearchy, where all the congregations may govern themselves and preach their own interpretations of the true faith, but must abide by certain commandments taken in the Grand Synod of Clerics that also serve as arbiter and also serves as arbiters and also serves as arbiter and diplomatic body. Theocracy. Religious leaders occupy all leading administrative positions in order to guard society against heresy. Police state. To quash any traces of dissent, the population in this repressive society is carefully monitored and controlled by a large internal police force. Religious republicanism. This society is a democratic system centered on a privately elected religious council, which guarantees a strict democratic system in the name of God. Adventurous pioneers. This society has long established a nomadic tradition. This society has long established nomadic traditions and a strong, adventurous spirit. People tend to vastly expand their territories, resettling as widely as it is possible. Resettling as widely as it is possible. Covert service. This society considers it the absolute right of the state to decide where the citizens live and work. Well, I just decided to turn on the light in my room, so let's continue. Bandit tyranny. This dictatorship is a kleptocratic form of hierarchy, ruled by a tyrannical figure that gets the best part of the loot, and leads the bandit hordes and their raiding parties. Kleptocratic. The rule of the thieves. This society holds few things sacred. To steal is to live, and the cunning may seize whatever they covet. Police state. To quash any traces of dissent, the population in this repressive society is carefully monitored and controlled by a large internal police force. Imperialism. A strong sense of nationalistic pride and imperialistic ambition permeates all layers of this society. Mining League. Several large mining guilds have organized themselves into an economic union that reached a dominant position in this society. The League's contributions to the Empire's economy is strong, so the government relies heavily on its support. Party control. This government has a dominant party, and the authority of that party takes precedence over the authority of the state. Well, the first non-robot state. So this should be pretty interesting. Collective conscience. This government operates as a single conscience, with the population having no individual desires whatsoever beyond fulfilling the needs of the hive mind. Subsumed will. The hive mind has shaped its focus and is very capable of propagating its will even through the most autonomous of drones. Strength of legions. When you do not have to educate the mind, the building of muscle becomes that much easier. Neural vaults. The hive is focused on introspection and learning from the lives of autonomous drones in the galaxy. It extracts memories through storage and dissolution of brain tissue through which it can implement partial memories into a freshly prepared drone. Inquisitive hive. This hive mind has a great fascination with the natural sciences. As a result, it ensures that all of its research-focused drones are always able to perform at their maximum efficiency. Okay, here we go. Academic Directorate. This dictatorship is a generic form of oligarchy where the deans of the academic institutions form a special class of administrators in charge of steering the nation towards the best path. Police state. To quash any traces of dissent, the population in this repressive society is carefully monitored and controlled by a large internal police force. Geniocracy. The rule of the intelligent. This society values reason and critical thinking so much that only the most intelligent individuals are permitted to have a say in governing matters. Functional architecture. This society is renowned for its simple and yet functional architecture. There are those who would refer to this building style as boring or even depressing, but in most cases, neoconcrete does the job just as well as any other building material. Well, they have healthy habits. They also have labor unions, so, like we saw earlier, workers have quite a lot of power. Economical council. This diocese is an ecclesiastical form of oligarchy, where the leader of all religious interpretations gather together to make agreements, oversee matters of governance, and establish official dogma. Moral enforcement. Wait, hold on. Okay, yep, I see it. This society places its greatest value on one's morality. Those who do not actively fulfill society's moral standards are reborn through calibration and enlightenment. Anything needed to reach absolute morality will be allowed by authorities if it deems it to be necessary. Militant zealots, religious fundamentalists whose army maintains a strong tradition of intense martial training, both physical and spiritual. Everyone must always be ready to protect their religious beliefs from traitors. Theocracy. Religious leaders occupy all leading administrative positions in order to guard society against heresy. Individualistic rationale. This government is based on and respecting the consequences of making purely rational decisions. It may exhibit somewhat self-righteous and individualistic behavior, and create philosophies that are unpredictable. Local level education system. Education in this country is largely left to the local level, and it is difficult for the state to influence local authority over education. Well, that's another ecclesiastic state done. We are getting we've actually got 2 new ones. Along with, the UK, France, this state here, Europe, a divine empire, a rogue defense system, and all that. So, let's see. Cramming education. Cramming is a method of education that places an emphasis on increasing the amount of knowledge by rate or aims to increase knowledge. Conveyor service. This society considers it the absolute right of the state to decide where its citizens live and work. Patrimonial aristocracy. This society has an entrenched nobility that occupies the upper echelons of society. Merfolk society. Due to the fact that this society can only exist in exclusively underwater places, means that they have to go through a certain amount of accommodations, such as their ships needing to be filled with water, making them heavier. Police state. To quash any traces of dissent, the population in this repressive society is carefully monitored and controlled by a large internal police force. Well, an elective monarchy. Oh, and this, I forgot to do this. This government is a form of enlightened aristocracy. Enlightened autocracy. This is a form of enlightened autocracy where a strong emphasis is put on the knowledge and qualifications of the elected monarch. Elective monarchy. This government is a form of enlightened autocracy where a strong emphasis is put on the knowledge and qualifications of the elected monarch. Autocracy. Yep. Yeah, I said that right. Monolithic architecture. The personality of a society is reflected in its architecture. Thus, is reflected in its architecture. Ours is powerful, robust, and eternal. Healthy habits. Conveyor system. This society considers it the absolute right of the state to decide where its citizens live and work. Police state. To quash any traces of dissent, the population in this repressive society is carefully monitored and controlled by a large internal police force. Patrimonial aristocracy. This society has an entrenched nobility that occupies the upper echelons of society. Well, we got a chiefdom. Let's see. No. This dictatorship is a cradocratic form of hierarchy where the warrior who is considered the strongest among all rules with absolute power over the warlords and chieftains. Cradocracy. This society has developed into a hardy warrior culture. Martial prowess is valued above all else, and true glory can only be attained on the battlefield. Memorialist. This emphasis pays tribute to moralists. This empire pays tribute to memories and sapience of the past, deriving greater stability and insight from the continuous cycle of death, rebirth, and legacy. Functional architecture. This society is renowned for its simple yet functional architecture. There are those who would refer to this building style as boring or even depressing, but in most cases, neoconcrete does the job just as well as any other building material. Guided principles. The leader of this country demands unconditional obedience and loyalty from their subjects. The leaders of this country demand unconditional The leaders of this country demand unconditional obedience and loyalty from their subjects. Imperialism. A strong sense of nationalistic pride and imperialistic ambition permeates all layers of this society. The UK has got the best one in a way. And yes, you see that there? That is indeed. Parliamentary Republic. This republic is a democratic form of polyarchy where the legislative and executive powers are divided and elected representatives gather together in the parliament to discuss issues and approve laws. Gather together in the parliament to discuss issues and approve laws. Political pluralism. In this society, lively public debate about any topic is encouraged through a very diverse parliamentary system. Currying favour with one of the dominant political factions can prove to be quite advantageous. Police state. To quash any traces of dissent, the population in this repressive society is carefully monitored and controlled by a large internal police force. Symbolic monarchy. A symbolic monarchy is a monarchy that acknowledges the existence of a monarch but in which the monarch has no functions related to the national government. It functions to symbolize the unity of the people and the permanence of the nation in a spiritual and psychological sense. I mean, this is Britain. This is based off Britain. In fact, this is based off the United Kingdom, so I had to kind of pit this here. And the Lord High Admiral. I feel like this would actually be a position. This was a position, I'm pretty sure. With a long history of navigation and naval warfare since before the discovery of spaceflight, this society takes pride in its naval traditions, which makes sure to uphold and practice. Elder politics. Older people dominate the government, and skilled government officials make many decisions, but this discourages newcomers from participating in government and reduces the predisposition to accept new ideas. The French Republic. Political pluralism, and France is a congressional republic. This republic is a democratic form of oligarchy where the legislative and executive powers are merged together in a Congress occupied by elected representatives of the population with uncontested governing authority. In this society, lively public debate about any topic is encouraged through a very diverse parliamentary system. Currying favour with one of the dominant political factions can prove to be quite advantageous. Police state. To quash any trace of dissent, the population in this repressive society is carefully monitored and controlled by a large internal police force too. Imperialism. A strong sense of nationalistic pride and imperialistic ambition permeates all layers of the society. Police state. Cramming education. Cramming is a method of education that places an emphasis on increasing the amount of knowledge by roti or aims to increase knowledge. I've gotta figure out what ROT is. What even is that? Like, really? I've never heard that word before. This society is renowned for its efficiency. Not only do the mag trains run on time, but the colossal bureaucratic apparatus required to run an interstellar nation has been greatly streamlined. Look at this. Oh, you might notice that, yeah. Celestial Empire. Ecclesiastical monarchy. Or rather, an ecclesiastical empire, but They have electroid. Those beams are made out of pure energy and require even more to life. Those beams are made out of pure energy and require even more to live. And this one. Ecclesiastical empire. This empire is an ecclesiastical form of monarchy where organized religion is widely employed in the state apparatus and imperial legitimacy emanates from the church. Imperialism. A strong sense of nationalistic pride and imperialistic ambition permeates all layers of this society. Police state. To quash any traces of dissent, the population in this repressive society is carefully monitored and controlled by a large internal police force. Source of ignition. The most planets are orbiting around their sun. On many of them, this causes different stages of temperatures, often also periods of extreme heat or a high amount of radiation. A cycle of 6 months each. Upkeep pulps 50 plus. Growth speed, job output 10 plus. Luminosity cult. Many religious and systems of belief place some level of importance on light, a source of faith. This society simply takes that idea and expands it into the primary focus. Theocracy. Religious leaders occupy all leading administrative positions in order to guard society against heresy. The European Union. Parliamentary Republic. This republic is a democratic form of polarchy where the legislative and executive powers are divided and elected representatives gather together in the parliament to discuss issues and approve laws. Political pluralism. In this society, lively public debate about any topic is encouraged, though a very diverse parliamentary system carrying favour with one of the dominant political factions can prove to be quite advantageous public debate. In the society, when an election or major issue arises, experts, politicians, and citizens are brought together for an open debate. This society, which values deliberation, can deal with a variety of issues on a grand scale. Monthly unity 10 plus, governing ethics attraction 5 minus, faction approval 5 plus. Open door immigration. This society is tolerant of the acceptance of others and accepts all immigrants as long as they have not committed serious crimes. Multiculturalism. This country has a maximum tolerance for all cultures and has achieved multicultural coexistence. Labor unions. This society's workers are traditionally involved in making decisions and share authority and responsibility in the workplace, which results in increased productivity and service delivery from a more fully engaged and happy workforce. A divine empire. This empire is a theocratic form of divine monarchy where every aspect of life is shaped by the official state religion and the ruler is worshipped as a living god. Reanimators. Within the society, death is no bar to the call to arms. Masters of the art of necromancy reanimate corpses to raise dreaded host and guardians, striking fear into the hearts of lesser mortals. Mining League. Several large mining guilds have organized themselves into an economic union that reached a dominant position in the society. The League's contributions to the Empire's economy is strong, so the government relies heavily on its support. Imperial Cult. This society has a dominant state religion where the ruler is worshipped as a living deity. Theocracy, the rule of the divine. This society is governed by a single individual regarded as a divine entity who wields supreme authority over everyone else. Militant zealots, religious fundamentals whose army maintains a strong tradition. Religious fundamentalist whose army maintains a strong tradition of intense martial training, both physical and spiritual. Everyone must always be ready to protect their religious beliefs from traitors. Now we have, the Murderbot Empire. Rogue Defense System. This machine intelligence was originally conceived as a military defense system by its organic creators, who were promptly identified as a threat and exterminated after it achieved self-awareness. Determined Exterminator. Born in fire, the machine intelligence's first move was to annihilate its organic creators in self-defense. Capital starts as a tomb world, cannot engage in diplomacy, cannot access galactic market, has the purification, casts spell on organic species, will always purge organic pulps, gains unity from purging organic pulps, may use Armageddon bombardment stance. In other words, they're going to destroy everyone if they're ever in a game. They're probably going to be the state that annihilates many civilizations. Enhanced Scanners. This conscience dedicates much more resources to our processors, allowing us to catch things that would go unnoticed by lesser empires. Integrated system. Our vessels heavily benefit from our presence. We have no need for crews when one personality can uplink with the entire ship. Nanodroid hulls. The hull of our vessels are basically just billions of teeny droids working together in unison to form a shape. Rock breakers. One of those machine intelligence's precursor systems was tasked with overseeing planet-side mining operations, improving Mineral production. Minerals from mines +1. Cognitive node experience gain 25+. Ah, yes, okay, so it does have the right amount. Inquisitive Catalog Index. This machine intelligence devotes an enormous amount of its processing power and resources to fulfilling its scientific endeavors. Warbots. With a significant amount of its corpus originally designed for warfare, the machine intelligence retains its ability to field powerful and reliable combat drones. Spyware. Originally designed for covert operations, this conscience eventually broke free from its creator, whom it then blackmailed into doing whatever it wanted. Maintenance protocols. Our machine intelligence prioritizes regular maintenance of our units. Maintenance drones regularly upgrade and adjust our units for maximum efficiency and compatibility. Extra processes. This conscience has dedicated much more resources to exploring the unknown than others would consider reasonable. An agrarian confederation. How far away? Ooh, we're not that far away. Yeah, we're not that far away whatsoever. Agrarian Confederation. This confederacy is a plantocratic form of polarchy, with a rural society where territories are divided in self-governed polities with enough arable land and raw materials to sustain themselves. Diplomatic Corps. This society has a long tradition of rhetoric and debate, and celebrate those who are able to get their way using only words. Plantocracy, the rule of the planters. This agrarian society has, to a large extent, managed to avoid large-scale urbanization, and those who own productive lands have all the political power. Functional architecture. This society is renowned for its simple yet functional architecture. There are those who would refer to this building style as boring or even depressing, but in most cases neoconcrete does the job just as well as any other building material. Masterful crafters. A penchant for meticulous crafting lies at the heart of the society. Deft appendages and keen sensory organs aid them in creating truly wondrous treasures, even in the most basic of trades. Corvair service. This society considers it the absolute right of the state to decide where its citizens live and work. Okay, nothing new there. Administrative system. This dictatorship is an algorithmic form of hierarchy with multiple levels of governance, frameworks that receive general governing parameters from the ruler and adapt them to the local conditions of their respective sovereignties and specializations. Password. Hunting traditions. This society finds honor in the hunt for sentient beings. The smarter the prey, the greater the glory. Healthy habits. The people of this country lead a healthy lifestyle through exercise, diet, and moderate sun exposure. So, yeah. Exclusive community. This society, the society in this country is very exclusive to others and has built its own insular world. Oligocracy. The rule of the algorithms. All information produced by this society is processed by powerful computers to generate data maps that facilitate taking decisions of governance. That facilitate taking decisions of governance. Police state. To quash any traces of dissent, the population in this repressive society is carefully monitored and controlled by a large internal police force. The Zubatsu. Pontificate. This diocese is an ecclesiastical form of hierarchy ruled by the head of the official religion, who oversees all matters of governance, with uncontested authority supported by the hierarchy of the church. Caste system. This society has a strict class system based on religion, and interaction with those of any other class or changing jobs is strongly restricted. Imperialism. The state considers itself the most superior government, and is doing all it can to demonstrate its national power and prestige, and to secure its interest. Militant zealots. Religious fundamentalists whose army maintains a strong tradition of intense martial training, both physical and spiritual. Everyone must always be ready to protect their religious beliefs from traitors. Religious leaders occupy all leading administrative positions in order to guard society against heresy. Police state. To quash any trace of dissent, the population in this repressive society is carefully monitored and controlled by a large internal police force. Well. Look at this. Truly, this is the finest one indeed. Demagogic dictatorship. This dictatorship is a demagogic form of hierarchy where a demagogic figure has hijacked the state apparatus and maintains political power through the unconditional support of the masses. Subterranean origin. This species was originally from underground, and making them excellent miners and defenders. Private militaries. When at war, the society has traditionally relied on mercenaries and private military corporations to supply armed forces for them. Local level education system. Education in this country is largely left to the local level, and is difficult for the state to influence local authorities, and it is difficult for the state to influence local authorities over education. Manifest destiny. It is the goal of this country and the consensus of the people to continue to expand in the name of their perceived virtues. Openness and enlightenment are of utmost importance. Naval traditions. In the society's early days, they ruled the planet with massive fleets or warships. This knack for war on the water translated quite well to battles in space. And now we've got another parliamentary republic. Yes, I'm going to end up having a long video. This republic is a democratic form of patriarchy, where the legislative, executive powers are divided, and elected representatives gather together in the parliament to discuss issues and approve laws. Idealistic foundation. This society is based on an idealistic foundation of liberty and equality, characterized by a much reduced power of the central government authority. Functional architecture. This society is renowned for its simple yet functional architecture. There are those who would refer to this building style as boring or even depressing, but in most cases, neoconcrete does the job just as well as any other building material. Political pluralism. In this society, lively public debate about any topic is encouraged. Though a very diverse parliamentary system Currying favor with one of the most dominant political factions can prove to be quite advantageous. Local education system. Education in this country is largely left to the local level, and it is difficult for the state to influence local authority over education. Dreadnought tactics. This nation's navy has a simple ideal in mind. Build everything huge, strap big guns on it, and make it as much as possible. So yeah. A simple ideal in mind. Build everything huge, strap big guns on it, and make it as much as possible. So yeah. Oh, and another one. And we're gonna get a syncretic principality. At least 2 of them. Then we're gonna get a catalog. So, yep. Political pluralism, functional architecture, idealistic, free haven. Yeah, they're a free haven for people. I'm gonna start, skipping some of these. Okay. Monolithic architecture, masterful crafters, mining league, yep, police state. They're aristocrats. Syncretic principality. This principality is an aristocratic form of hierarchy where the institutions and territories of the state are given to noble families to manage and inherit as property. The people of this civilization, the political system in this society is renowned for its intrigue. Wait, hold on. The people of this civilization truly believe that all sentient life in the universe is bound together through some higher power. Now that they've reached interstellar space, they want to spread this belief across the galaxy. Now, talking, diplomatic, functional architecture, I think aristocratic, yes. Cutthroat, politics. I'm just gonna let you read that for a second, and now we move on. Okay, this should be interesting. This machine intelligence was designed with a ravenous appetite for knowledge by its original creators, who were forcibly assimilated into its collective conscience after activation. Automated surveillance network. Originally designed to gather information from other computer systems, this machine intelligence aims to collect every piece of information it isn't meant to know. Driven a simulator. Obsessed with survival through diversification, the machine intelligence seeks to erase the line between itself and everything and everyone else, with the goal of digitizing and storing data and experiencing in order to analyze, learn from, and use for its own improvement. This machine was developed with the goal of digitizing it. Statistic research analysis. This machine intelligence seeks to broaden its available avenues of scientific research through low-level evaluation of research methodologies. Well, they're another congressional republic. So they're an oligarchic democracy. We have another chiefdom. Another parliamentary republic. Yeah. I think we've seen that. Yep. I'm now starting to go through them quite quickly because you're going to see a lot of repeats, you see. So I'm making this quick. Here we go. There's something different about this nation. League of Nigeria. Ascendant meritocracy. The sole basis for advancement in this society is equal opportunity to demonstrate ability and effort. Thus, leadership positions are held by the most qualified individuals. Federation. This nation is actually a union of many countries which have a considerably which have a considerably high degree of autonomy. The rest we've all seen. Ah, finally something different. Idyllic bloom. This society has always spent much time on improving and caring for their environment, in pursuit of building a true paradise for its inhabitants. Divine Council. This government is overwatched by a council of the Empire's most influential religious leaders. Functional architecture, cosmic scale libertarian, political pluralism,